What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the unofficial tribe, and boy do I have a video for you. Hey, why don't you join the tribe? Literally, it's the button down there. You subscribe to the tribe. It's simple, it's free. I mean, you can literally change your mind whenever you want. Be a good guy. Subscribe to the tribe. Yeah, I know, a shameless plug, but the tribe does have to eat, guys. So, without further ado, let's get into my first draft of the FPL season. So, starting at the back, we have Sanchez, the 4.5 million Brighton keeper. Great option. We have Trent Alexander-Arnold, we have Digne, we have Target, and we have Lamptey. In the midfield, we have Salah and Fernandes, we have Rafinha, and we have Jota. And then up front, we have DCL and we have Watkins. On the bench, I have Foster, but it could be any 4 million keeper. It is literally just to fill the bench. I have Fofana, I have Basuma, and I have João Pedro. Now, luckily for you guys, I have more than one draft, and here is the second draft, where I went for Wan-Bissaka instead of Digne. I put in Smith Rowe instead of Jota, and then also I put in Antonio in place of João Pedro. And then for my third draft, I tried to see what my team would look like if I had two Liverpool defenders. So I went Digne for Robertson, I went for Smith Rowe for Jota, and then I went for Tony instead of João Pedro. So out of the three drafts, my favorite is by far the second. Okay, now that you have seen my drafts, I want to go through some general strategy, things that I've noticed, things that we should take into consideration when going into the new FPL season, things that we can, take hold of and take charge of to really differentiate ourselves from the other managers and hopefully climb above the rest. The first thing that I've noticed, and we're going to start at the back, is that Lamptey and Fofana have really good fixtures in rotation with each other. And those defenders being a 4.5 million options means that we can always have one on the bench and play one. And looking at these fixtures, they line up nicely where you can play Lamptey one week and then put Fofana in the other and keep rotating like that. It's a super good synergy, and it's definitely something that I would urge everyone to take consideration of. Another strategy at the back that I would like to implement in my next season is having one Liverpool defender to start off with. And that is purely due to the fact that they have really good fixtures, and Liverpool defenders have a very good attacking output, especially the wing-backs. So I would definitely consider going for Trent Alexander-Arnold, or I would go for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. I wouldn't just purely have Robertson, as I believe Trent is the more attacking player. So it would hurt you if you have Robertson and Trent starts doing well and people bring Trent into their team. So that leaves two defenders at the back, where I think those are your more flexible options. Those are the options where you can sort of, use your gut instinct and go with the players that you feel will do well. Go with the teams that you think will keep the clean sheets. Those are, I think, where your creativity comes in. That's where you can differentiate yourselves. Looking at the 5.5 million slot, there are some great options out there, and I am still torn as to who I'm going to choose. I mean, there's Digne, there's Creswell, there's Luke Shaw, and there's Wan-Bissaka in that 5.5 million slot. And I think, we definitely want to have one of them, just purely to make our team flexible. And if we want Luke Shaw in and we have Digne, it's one transfer to bring in someone in that price range. So I think we definitely want to consider having a 5.5 million defender. And then the other option, you can kind of go for a Target, or, like a 5 million defender, or you can go for a 4.5 million defender if you want to save money and put that in the midfield or forwards. It's really up to you. Now onto the strategy for the midfield, and the first obvious thing is that you really do want Salah and Fernandes, just simply because of captaincy rotation. The two have very nice fixtures, and in rotation you can build some super synergy with captaining them. One week you'll captain Salah, the next week you'll captain Fernandes when Salah doesn't have a good fixture, and vice versa. So that's definitely two premium players that you want in your team. And then for the rest of the players, it's up to your own discretion. I do think you'll see now when I speak about it that, there might be more budget options, but I think those 2 or 3 slots are kind of just, whoever you want, I'm obviously going with Basuma, who is 4.5 million. Awesome bench option. He plays, he starts for Brighton, and, if worse comes to worst, you can always play him, but he will predominantly be just sitting on your bench. And now moving on to the strategy that I'm going to use for the forwards. with the forwards this year, we've been given some great options at that 7.5, 8 mil range, you know. So what I really think that we should be looking to do is bring in 3 forwards around that price range, just to keep things flexible. There are so many options that we can just chop and change around. I think, you know, this is where the majority of our points will come from, and I think also it can be a good tool to build value, you know, bring in the players that are about to have good fixtures. I mean, the good options that I've noticed from around that range, we have Cavani, we have DCL, we have Bamford, we have Ings, we have Watkins, we have Richarlison, we have Iheanacho, we have Wilson, we have Jimenez, we have Wood, you know, just a whole host of players that we would really, you know, like to chop and change around, you know. I think that will be, I think it will be the most fun strategy, having so many forwards, being able to watch these games, be excited every time they get up and take a shot. And also, I just think from a tempo and value point of view, I think that's the way to go. Sort of seems like FPL is trying to gear us towards this route, and I think we should take it with both hands and use it to our advantage. Anyway, guys, I hope that was informative, and I hope you learned something from this. If you take on board my strategies, or even if you don't, you know, at least we're talking about these things. And you know, that's the best thing about FPL, is just talking about strategies, because it really does, you know, start opening your mind to what are good plays and what are bad plays. So if you have enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to the tribe. Again, it's been phenomenal. The responses I got on my videos really encourages me to keep making these videos and keep you know, building this community together. So it's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.